All right. So it looks like the trickle has come in and everybody who signed up has logged in, at least according to the number of attendees. But if people filter in, we're going to record this and we'll be able to send it out afterwards anyway. So welcome everybody. Thank you for attending tonight. I know some of you all got some bad weather, especially down in Kentucky. So I appreciate you taking the time to be with us tonight. And I hope that everything calms down here soon and the weather starts to chill out a little bit. So tonight we're gonna hear about a couple of our programs that we're offering at Dan Beard Council. And then we are going to go into some of the new details for summer camp for Camp Friedlander this year. So if any of you don't know me, my name is Evan Bowman. I'm the business operation manager for Dan Beard Council. I will be your MC tonight, master of slides. So if they're ever moved forward or back at the wrong time, you can angrily email me and I will respond to your feedback accordingly. But also with us tonight, Zach Hollinsworth, our camp director. He will be taking on most of the presentation tonight. And then I will introduce everyone else as they come up. So first, we're going to go into our other council programs, starting with Mr. Mike Bear with NYLT.
Hello, as Evan said, my name is Mike Bear. I'm the course director for course 3 for NYLT this year. If you don't know what NYLT is, it's National Youth Leadership Training. It's an exciting action-packed program designed to provide youth with leadership and experience that they can apply within their troops. It's led by an amazing staff, youth staff that has already started their training this year to provide the experience that your scouts deserve at Camp Michael, and it's going to be at Camp Michaels. To go, your youth has to be at least 13, first class, completed an introduction to leadership skills for troops. There is a $100 discount if they're attending camp and NYLT. So there's a discount there. That's awesome. The dates are June 8th through 13th, and that's a co-ed program. June 15th through 20th are for male scouts. Then we have a fall course, course 3, October 10th through 12th and 17th through 19th, and that's also co-ed. Registration is already open at danbeard.org/MYLT. That's what I got.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. And then next up, we have Kathleen Owen here to talk about Wood Badge.
Hi, everyone. Kathleen Owen, and I have the privilege of being the course director for Wood Badge this year. So you can think of Wood Badge as the adult version of NYLT. So this is the opportunity for all adults with that are registered within Scouting America to attend this excellent leadership training program. We've got a great group of trainers collected for you. Anyone 18 or older, so this is a great opportunity for many of your youth who have moved up to the adult positions within your units, they can come as well. So anyone 18 or older is encouraged to join us, and that would be at the cub level or at the troop or crew level. We have 2 weekends that you would attend to be able to complete this course, and that is September 5th through the 7th and September 20th through the 21st. Come have fun. It's a great opportunity to network and learn some great skills. And if you sign up early, you'll get a discount. So please go to danbeard.org/woodbadge and sign up and join the fun with all the crazy.
Sweet. Thank you, Kathleen. And then next up, we have Mr. Eric Stankiewicz with Scuba Week.
Hello, my name's Eric Stankiewicz. I'm with Scuba Week. Make sure that we all know. We are going to be doing that June 2nd through the 6th. It's actually, the class runs from the 2nd to the 5th with a built-in day in case we have bad weather. Scuba Week is a day camp program prior to camp starting. It will include a couple merit badges. So you will be getting your scuba merit badge. You will be getting the geology merit badge, and you will be getting the oceanography merit Those three merit badges are with the program. It just kind of works out. You will also get a lifetime certification, a pair of your snorkeling gear, which would include your mask, fin, snorkel, and boots. And we will have all kinds of fun. If you have any questions, just let me know. There's quite a bit of information at the council level, actually ready to go. It looks like we will also be able to do a rescue class for everybody who has already been certified at the end of the season. And we're still trying to work exactly what date that'll be, but it'll be 2 days at camp. So thank you. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know.
All right. Thank you, Eric. And just so you all know, we do have both the chat and the Q&A functions running this evening. So either at the top or the bottom of your screen, you'll be able to see a list of different icons. One of those will say chat, one will say Q&A. So if you think of any questions, want to mention anything, feel free to send those throughout the evening. We'll answer as we go, as we're able. But if we get a little bit ahead of the questions, we're also going to have a Q&A session specifically at the end of the session. And we'll be able to cover all of the questions there as well. So we just got one in, so it is working. Thank you, Ali. Alexandra just asked, how much is Scuba Week? Scuba Week is going to be $1,100, which is significantly less than if you were to try to do this program somewhere else, especially when you consider that you get to keep all of your gear in addition to the scuba certification. So if any other questions about our other programs come in, then I will answer them as we go. If our guests are able to stay, they can answer them as well. If not, and I'm not able to answer them, I'll make sure that we have someone from their programs get back to you with the answers. All right. Doug just asked me if chat was disabled through the Q&A. It should be working, but if it's not, we see that the Q&A is working. So if you're getting issues with the chat, we'll just put everything in through the Q&A for now. There's a possibility that that's under a little option that says more on your screen. And then it has a little drop down, and one of them will say Q&A. Right, looks like Eric's got that one. So we are going to start diving into our Camp Friedlander summer camp program. So for those of you who do not know, our program director this year is going to be Justin Bryant. You'll probably know Justin from either being the aquatics director this past summer or the Copen climbing director a couple years ago. We're really excited to have Justin on board. Unfortunately, he could not be here tonight. His non-summer job needed him, and so Mr. Hollinsworth will be covering his section for now. So Zach, I will pass it off to you.
Perfect, thank you. I'll go ahead and introduce myself now. This is my second summer as camp director and my 7th or 8th summer on Camp Freelander staff. Really excited for the program we're doing this summer. I think last year was one of our best years in the time I've been working here, and we're looking to make this year even better. So jumping right into it, where's the first place to start anything? With the first year program, of course. All the great things that Trailblazer has always been. For those of you unfamiliar with our Trailblazer program, it covers all of the first year fundamentals. You can think about it. We don't necessarily hit all the rank requirements in second in Scout through first class, but are two 90-minute sessions. So one's is Scout Tenderfoot and one is second class, first class. Cover a good portion of them. and have other activities and things for scouts to do throughout their week at camp. Um, I think it's a really valuable program. Our Trailblazer director is really excited and working hard on some things. So if you stay posted as we get closer to the summer, there will be some more announcements and things on new stuff with our Trailblazer program. On the opposite end of the spectrum is our ACE program, or Advanced Camper Experience. So this is going to be for scouts who are 14 years or older and have done a lot of our existing merit badge program or other activities and are looking for something else to shake things up with. And it's a half a day block. So 9 a.m. to noon and then 2 p.m. to 5 are the two options there. Uh, and what the scout does changes day to day based on what they're interested in. So at the beginning of the week, they'll meet with either our ACE director or a program director, and we'll work out a activity schedule uh, of things they want to do throughout their week at camp. So that might be a day on the Coke course, followed by a day at the lake, followed by a day exploring kind of the ruins at old Camp Friedlander, or a day experimenting with our bikes or our old mountain boards or things of that nature. Okay. And then for everything in between first year camper and advanced camper is our merit badge schedule. So we're continuing with our 4-day merit badge schedule we adopted a couple of years ago. So that's merit badges scheduled Monday through Thursday. Most of the badges have been reworked. We've been taking feedback and things from the previous couple of years as we've worked through the schedule to make sure that badges are the appropriate length hour-wise to make up for having a 4-day schedule instead of a 5-day. And then that leaves Friday, of course. Friday mornings are kind of merit badge makeup time and also time for things like our space exploration class will launch uh, their rockets off. Some other merit badge programs like camping will do some extended activities. And then if, say, your aquatics class got rained out for 2 days, the aquatic staff will be there to help finish requirements that they didn't meet, or things of that nature. We also have open programs at that time. So if your scout's done with other things, other merit badge, all of their merit badges, they can go to open shooting, or they can go to some of the other activities we have in, say, our sports field area or outdoor skills area. Friday afternoons, we're restructuring just a little bit from previous years. So last year and the year before, Friday afternoon was strictly a camp-wide game. Um, we're restructuring our camp-wide game, so it's happening throughout the week, and there will be activities that scouts can do as part of the game throughout the week. Then we'll add up all those points scored over the course of the week. They'll find a winner at the end. Um, we found that there was a lot of units that had significant numbers of scouts who didn't necessarily always want to participate in the camp-wide game. So we wanted to make sure staff were available on Friday afternoons to facilitate other programs. So we're going to have single afternoon merit badges they can sign up for, some different awards and things like the Paul Bunyan Award, more open program opportunities from aquatics to shooting to sports field for scouts to enjoy in that afternoon. And then backtracking a little bit from Friday to Wednesday night, that is troop program night. So that's the night where camp, for the most part, is fairly quiet. We're still having dinner in your campsites that night. We got a lot of good reviews last year on our taco dinner, so that will be coming back this summer. I know some of you who attended in week 1 or 2 asked for, like, did we get a little bit more onions or cheese? And we worked all that out with our candle staff and had very positive feedback for the rest of the summer on that meal. Um, and the whole point of having that meal in your campsite and having kind of a scaled back program in that evening is it gives you guys an opportunity to do things with your troop, whether that's uh, some type of troop campfire program for scouts who are working on communications merit badge, for example, or if your troop wants to take advantage of the Wahinape Trail as a group, or if your troop wants to work with our sports field staff to maybe play another troop on the baseball diamond or kickball diamond or at the basketball court and take advantage of those things. We also have our religious services happening that night at chapels, and the Golden Spoon happens that night as well. So you can roll straight from cooking your dinner in your campsite to preparing your food for your Golden Spoon competition. And now I'm going to pass it off momentarily to Percy Baku. He's our camp guild master and runs our Campers Guild. Percy.
Yes. Hello, hello. So this summer we're continuing our honor program that we started last summer called the Campers Guild. It runs with 4 tiers of requirements to work on, starting with the camper and ending off with the camp crafter. There are alternative requirements available as needed for both youth and adults. Along with those 4 ranks or levels, we are also offering 2 new programs, the Fire Builder and Fire Starter programs, which will run as evening programs throughout the week and will teach both scouts and scouters how to not only start a fire with a bow drill or other fire by friction set, but how to create one from the natural resources around Camp Friedlander.
Thank you, Percy. So moving back into our program things, this summer we're going to have over 60 merit badges at camp. I'm a little bit scaled back from last summer, but we looked at some of the numbers and we wanted to focus on merit badges that had more than one scout in them a week. But we did rotate in some new merit badges as well. So our chaplain is very excited about teaching communication merit badge. It's related to her major and things, so that should be a very good opportunity for us this summer. Then in addition, we're also bringing back after many years archaeology merit badge in our cultural village area, inventing merit badge, which our handicraft director is very excited about, and American labor in our trade skills area. And in addition to those new merit badges, we're going to have some non-merit badge programs available for scouts as well, especially for those older scouts who may have done all the merit badges they need for Eagle and are interested in something else. The one we're most excited about is Mile Swim is back finally. I had someone ask about Mile Swim, I think, every week for the past 3 years. So very excited to have that back for you guys. I know folks have been waiting for it. Traditionally, it was a morning program, so you go jump in the lake at 6 a.m. As part of trying to restructure it with all of our different safety requirements and things for it, as well as not ask my lifeguards to get up at 5:30 and facilitate Mile Swim and then stay up until 9 p.m. Instead, we are going to have it as part of the merit badge schedule. So there is a 9 to 10:30 block in the aquatic schedule that scouts who want to do Mile Swim can sign up for. And they'll spend the week with that hour and a half doing their practice swims, getting progressively longer throughout the week. And then Friday, they'll do the Mile Swim during the day. So that part is still in flux as if it will be before lunch or after lunch, but they'll do their Mile Swim on Friday and just throughout the week. Other things we're looking at, our nest director came up with a program to have our scouts earn the Nova Splash Award, which is a BSA National or Scouting America National Award, which most of the requirements will be able to be completed as camp as part of the class, which we're calling Nest Lads. Very, very excited about one. That one, we get messages in our group chat of our senior staff all the time from our nest director, who's sending us pictures of some experiment he's doing in his university lab, and we're like, Keith, do you even have permission to do that right now? But very excited, and it's going to be good. And then our other two non-merit badge programs that will be in the regular schedule are nature crafts, which will be at handicraft, of course. So if there will be a variety of different things, from some types of sewing to like pulling in, well, uh, yeah, a variety of different things. And then our primitive scout skills, which will work with our Campers Guild program to hit a lot of kind of traditional, uh, I would say scout craft, but maybe a broader term would be kind of bushcraft skills. Um, a lot of advanced fire building and some tracking and foraging and things of that nature they'll be looking at there. So there are other non-merit badge based programs as well, but these are the ones that will be in the 9 to 5 merit badge schedule.
And Zach and his team did specifically arrange these so that if a scout wants, they can fill their program schedule from 9 to 5 with just these new programs. So even if you have a super scout who has all of the 60 plus merit badges that we offer at camp, or just a significant portion of them and doesn't want to do anymore, these are all new programs that they will not have done that they can take at Camp Friedlander this summer and still get that full camp experience and do a lot of exciting activities. They're just not directly based on advancement. You know, we think a big part of camp should be still having fun. You know, we're going to offer merit badges. We're always going to offer merit badges, but we also want to make sure your scouts have other activities that aren't just advancement based.
Thank you, Evan. And to give a little bit of credit where credit is due, he said Zach and his team, Evan is the one who came up with the idea of making sure that you could take all 4. So thank you, Evan. Okay, so speaking of open programs, beyond the regular merit badge schedule, we still have all of our open and evening programs. So things that are always available pretty much are the sports field. If you need equipment for that, just work with our sports field staff and they'll get it to you, including our very popular disc golf course, which reminds me, on a side note, we added a second session of golf merit badge because it was so popular. So if your scout didn't get into it last summer, they should definitely be able to get into it this summer. Evening programs, we have all of the classics back. Our cowboy action program, our black powder program, our camp history night and patch trading nights, our 3D archery, wood burning and tie dyeing, and a lot of other things as well available for your scouts. Schedules will be available once you get to, as we get closer to the summer. That'll show when open aquatics will be and open climbing will be in the evenings and things as we work with those area directors. Uh, Open shooting is any night that's not true program night or cowboy action night. And then, of course, there is scuba and snorkeling as well in the evenings, which if we see Eric there's wearing a mask for us right now, modeling appropriate wear for that activity. But those are snorkeling is Monday night, so your scouts can sign up for that. And then scuba is Tuesdays and Thursday night. So Tuesday is kind of the classroom portion of it, and then Thursday is the jump in the pool portion of it. In the order of the arrow, we're working right now with our lodge chief and lodge advisor to revamp the Order of the Arrow program at Camp Friedlander for this summer. We're definitely going to, though, have back all of our traditional great Order of the Arrow activities, our ice cream socials, and our OA service projects, as well as other service opportunities there and fellowship opportunities. And then, of course, any of your scouts who have been ordeal members for at least 6 months will be able to participate in the brotherhood ceremony. And then any of your scouts who get elected into the order can be called out on Friday during the closing campfire.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Zach. We'll give you a little bit of a breather while we go through registration before you have to hop back in here later this evening. But we're going to just talk a little bit about my council, how you register your scouts, how you register for merit badges, how you view their progress, and things of that nature. So the first thing is that we do have a registration walkthrough, an FAQ document that's on danbeard.org on the camp forms page. This document has links to videos where you can go through every single step of the registration process. It'll tell you how to register your troop for camp. It'll tell you how to add both scouts and adults to your registration, how to sign up for activities like our merit badges and those new non-advancement activities. Uh, and it's also, just in case you miss me, a great way to hear me talk. I think it's like probably 2.5 hours in total that you can listen to me going through all the various steps. But it's a document on that website there that'll give you a verbal description of how to do it that's written. And then if you need something visual, you can click on it and watch one of the videos as well. All right. So then the next thing we're going to talk about is the fee payment schedule. So when you first registered your troop, or if you have not, when you do register your troop, we do ask for a $250 deposit to secure your campsite. That's due upon registration. This is not a fee by itself. You're going to pay this and it's going to be added to your group account. And what that means is that once you start registering scouts and adults for camp, you'll be able to apply that $250 towards their fees. So that $250 is non-refundable. It is due upon registration, but you are not paying anything extra just by signing your troop up. That'll be money that you'll end up spending on youth or adults anyway. You'll notice that we say here that both male and female troops must register separately. That's just so our staff knows who's going to be in the campsite. If you are part of the linked troop pilot, please just note that under special needs when you make your registration, or send me a message and let me know. We're willing to accommodate you. The system just does not have that built in yet. And then you'll see down here the payments. So when you initially register your youth, you need to pay $75. When you pay an adult, it's $55. And then the rest of that fee is just due 10 days prior to your arrival at camp. So what we'll do is we'll typically send out reminders as we get closer to camp, letting you know how much money you still owe, if there is a balance. Great way to pay these, which we'll talk about later, is to bring your payment to the 10-day out meeting. If you have not paid in full at that time, you can always pay online as well. And then we'll also note that youth registered after April 30th will pay the late fee. This is a $15 late fee that gets applied starting May 1st. That is only for scouts who have not registered at all. So if you put down that $75 deposit, but the scout's not paid in full, they're not going to incur that fee. That's just if you have not registered at that point at all. Additionally, if you have new scouts, somebody who's just joined your troop or just crossed over from Cub Scouts, they're also not going to incur that fee. That discount code is available both in the camp guide and on the website. If you have any trouble finding that, please just let me know and I'll make sure to get it to you. Now that we've talked about how to register people, we're going to talk about how to register for merit badges. So merit badge registration is going to open March 1st at 9 a.m. The merit badge and program schedule went out at the beginning of this month. If you have not seen that yet, that is available on the camp forms page, which is also linked on this slide. Also on that page, there is a scout activity selection sheet. So when a scout is looking through and trying to pick their programs that they want to do, we're going to ask them to fill out this and give it to your summer camp coordinator, that troop leader that's going to be registering your scouts for the merit badges in the My Council system. That way, if something fills up right away, they have alternatives that they can go back on. So even if a scout doesn't get their first preference, they'll still get a second or a third choice. And then please also note when you're looking at merit badges to think about where they're located. If you choose archery and then rifle or shotgun shooting back to back, that's going to be a very quick hike your scout has to take to get between those. It's about 1.25 mile walk from the archery to the rifle and shotgun ranges. That's the furthest distance they're going to walk, but there's a couple other ones that are pretty far as well. So when your scouts are picking their badges, I would recommend that they just have a map of camp in front of them as well. All right, required merit badge kits, just two. So we took a hard look at our merit badge kits and the fees that we charge. We determined that it is not worthwhile for us to charge for the archery or the wood carving merit badges. I've worked with some suppliers to get lower prices on those. That's going to help both us as a camp and your scouts spend a little bit less money on required program materials. So basketry will be $14. This is the BSA's all-in-one basic basketry kit. You can get it from the Scout Shop, but I will say our price at the Trading Post is cheaper. Space exploration, very similar. It's a Estes model rocket. We go back and forth between the Gnome rocket and the Wizard rocket. If you buy those directly from Estes, it will also be more expensive. So these prices are subject to change just in case there is a weird fluctuation in prices. I don't foresee either of these going up for this summer. The only other thing that you'll have to pay for is recreational rounds for the rifle and shotgun merit badges, as well as the Top Shot award if you participate in that program. We did just put in our order for ammunition, so we're waiting to see how those prices shake out before we announce what we're going to charge for those. Right, and I alluded to it a little bit, but for merit badge tracking, we're gonna use My Council, same program that we've used the last several years. So while you're at camp, leaders in your unit will be able to go into My Council and they'll be able to look at their scouts merit badge schedules, as well as how much progress your scouts have made on those badges. So we're just going to look through a couple of the screens here so you can get familiar with with what that looks like. So when you log into My Council, you'll see on the front screen, it'll say My Current Events. From there, you can click on Camp Friedlander Summer Camp, And then you'll have a list of all of your attendees that are signed up for camp. So all of your scouts and adults. To check somebody's schedule, you'll just need to click on that scout's name. And then once you do that, it'll bring you to this page here. And then you'll want to click on this activities tab. Once you do that, it'll show you their schedule. So it'll have Monday through Thursday, and then 9 a.m. down to 5 p.m. If they sign up for the snorkeling or scuba introductions, they'll also show up. You'll just have to scroll down a little bit. One of the other pages you can look at is just that next tab, which is requirements. You'll see here all of the activities that your scout is signed up for that have advancement tracking. And then you'll be able to see how far they are along in that merit badge. We are going to ask that our area directors update this on Tuesday evenings and Thursday evenings at a minimum. So you'll be able to check these throughout the week just to see how much progress your scout has made on that badge. And this progress bar is based on what we're offering at camp. So it's possible it'll show up as 100% on here, and then you'll get the completion record, which will show later, and it might not say they completed the badge. That's for a couple of things like cycling, where there's just really long treks they have to take as part of that badge, like the 50-mile trip for cycling that we're just not quite able to get done, in addition to all the other requirements. And so our staff focuses on those shorter trips so they can start building up their cycling skills. So if you'll notice on each of these, there's a little button that says View Requirements. If you are to click on one of those, it'll bring you into a detailed view of that merit badge. And you'll be able to see all of the specific requirements broken down. Like you'll see requirement 4G here. It says complete. And then if it's not complete, it just won't say it. They also have who marked it complete and on what date. So you should see the area director's name there along with the day that they updated it. And then after camp is over, we'll make sure to send a completion report out. This will go to all of the leaders who are registered as group contacts. It'll also go to any scouts who have their email on their registration. So when you're adding scouts to your registration, it might be a good idea to add their email on there if you want them to be responsible for collecting their advancement report and turning that into your unit advancement coordinator. So when you get that, you'll get a page that looks like this. It'll be in a PDF. And this is an example of one that is complete. And you'll be able to see down here at the bottom, it'll say completion status, fully complete, and then the date that they finished the merit badge. These counselors that are blacked out, that'll be the name of the area director that is responsible for managing advancement. And then for an incomplete merit badge, you'll see here that it lists all of the requirements that are complete, but it does not list the ones that are not complete. So you'll see here it skips from 4G to 6. Requirement 5 was not completed by this scout, whether that wasn't offered at camp or they just weren't able to do it for some reason. And then at the bottom, it'll say partially complete. So in instances like this, we get a lot of questions about blue cards. We are not requiring scouts to have blue cards. Most councils are not anymore. So typically what will happen is your scout will take this, they'll turn it into your unit advancement coordinator, and then they'll be able to see in Scout Book or Internet Advancement or whatever tracking system it is your unit uses, which requirements they have left. And from there, they'll be able to meet with a merit badge counselor who can complete those requirements with them. And then that will get reported to your unit advancement coordinator who can put that into Scout Book or the program you use. And then Scout Book will reflect that you have a fully completed merit badge. Like I said, there are walkthroughs available for all these things online on danbeard.org. But if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll have my contact information up on one of the slides here at the end. Now, Zach, I'm going to turn it back over to you for commissioner activities. Bryson Tillman is going to be our Camp Friedlander commissioner this year. Last year, he was our trade skills director, and he did a wonderful job with that. We are very excited to see the level of attention that he gives to his new role as well.
Thank you, Evan. I'll share that I'm also very excited for Bryson to take over as commissioner. I think he's going to do a great job with it. But I'm just going to transition us over to our adult leader trainer, Sarah Dorger, to talk about adult leader training this summer.
Hey everybody. So apologies for my camera not working. But I'm here to tell you a little bit about some of the adult leader trainings and activities. So we've got our standard IOLS course that we offer every single year. And I will be helping to teach that. And your IOLS course, for anyone who isn't familiar, is a bunch of courses for anyone who is an adult leader in your troop who is hoping to get more familiar with what it takes to kind of know some of the scouting skills as an adult within a troop. But if you've been doing this for a while and you still just want to pop in and find out about some of the skills or brush up on some of the skills, this is a great chance to do it. We also have a lot of supplemental training programs and other courses. So Safe Swim Defense Safety Afloat, Paddlecraft Safety and Swim and Water Rescue, which is offered by the Aquatics Director. We'll have CPR certification on Wednesday evenings. That's $15. We have a wilderness first aid class that is at an additional cost, as you can see there. And I believe that we kind of discussed it being on like Wednesday or Thursday, but that schedule is still under construction, so to speak. We are also going to have Scoutmaster specific being offered in person on Tuesday and Wednesday mornings in the Eagle's Nest. And we're also going to have a Leave No Trace workshop as well. So like I said, we'll get some more scheduling details out to you about that. In terms of what the fun stuff looks like, you'll see here that this is a sample of the program that I had last year. We've got similar things that are going to be happening this year, but I like to change it up a little bit. We're going to have another slushy tasting experience, but instead of being a fancy experience, we're going to have more of a game show style experience. So get ready, get excited about it. We're still going to be doing Scoutmaster trivia. It's going to be a blast. Still haven't decided what our like our camp craft is going to be. That's in process right now. But I have decided that one of our little field trips, our adult field trips, is going to be to the Loveland Farmers Market on Tuesday, which is going to be a lot of fun. So as I work through and kind of get some things settled with the adult like fun schedule, you'll see more updates. But I look forward to having a really great summer with you guys once again. I have a lot of fun getting to do this, and I very much enjoy getting to hear some of the feedback of the fun stuff that you guys enjoy doing here.
Eric, I saw you raised your hand. Okay. Sweet. Thank you, Sarah.
And I'm back. So, other thing our commissioner does, or at least our commissioner does that's relevant this far out, is our chaos crew. So that is for adult leaders who are interested in supporting our program or our operations teams. during their week at camp with their downtime because idle leaders cause chaos, or can anyhow. So things we might have you do is help out merit badge counselors, or help out in the dish room, or support our groundskeeping operations, or help out with our office staff, but kind of just depending on what exactly we need help with, and what exactly experiences and things you put down on the form that we have. I will say we definitely always are interested in having some adults who are interested in helping out our program areas, whether that's providing expertise with our search and rescue merit badge, or our citizenship badges, or things of that nature. There should be a QR code on the next slide here. Thank you. That goes to the sign up, where you can go ahead and get signed up for it. And if you do sign up for it, what our commissioner will do in the lead up to camp, and then on that very first day, is he'll get you connected with whoever is supervising the area that you're going to help out with. So if on the sign up you indicate, the dish room might be good, he'll be able to connect you with our dining hall director at the beginning of the week. Or if you indicate you have a lot of it, you're a government and civics teacher, and like I am, he'll connect you with our cultural village director in order to help out with the citizenship merit badges, or something of that nature. Um, and throughout the week, you'll be able to work with that director, and between the two of you, keep track of your hours. And if you put in at least 10 hours throughout the week, so that's 2 hours a day, you receive the Chaos Crew patch, which has that logo that you saw on the last slide. If you put in at least 20 hours, you get a Chaos Crew branded item. And then if you put in 40 hours, so if you essentially put in a work week, we will refund your week at camp. So uh, essentially, it's like going to camp for free. So we definitely helped us out a lot, and I've definitely had leaders who were very appreciative of being involved in the program. So if you're interested, I encourage you to go ahead and sign up.
We just got a quick question. Ellen asked about the tier of service payouts, if they're for the following camp year. So yes, Ellen, these are for the 2025 season. So if you put in this amount of service during your week of camp, these are the awards that you'll get. If you want to come multiple weeks and help serve, we have some people that are going to come out and, um, they just volunteer with cope and climbing in the evenings, or help supervise some of our other activities. So if you put in those hours between weeks 1 through 5 of camp, we will honor any time done in that block of dates, as part of the Chaos Crew. Sorry, Zach, I thought I hit next and it didn't move.
That's all right.
I knew it happened
Okay.
at least once.
Well, and it can't always be perfect. So welcome to the section that was originally mine. Um, and that is leader preparation. So a couple of things to help you guys be ready for the summer. 10 days before your week at camp, we have a 10-day out meeting. That will be when we do a kind of final overview of the program, and then any updates. So definitely between today and quite a few months from now, in June or July, there will be some updates. I'm working on activities and programs and things that I want to see happen that I haven't publicized yet, because I want to make sure they happen before I publicize them, right? So those types of things will be in our 10-day out meetings, as well as a chance to kind of meet me, and then Bryson and Justin as well, and Evan in person. You can bring your units health forms, and our medic will review them with you to make sure that you can get into camp expeditiously. And we'll also be able to review your unit's merit badge schedule at that time if you have any questions about it or if you need to change anything. And again, that will be 10 days before the week that you're going to camp. So that always falls on a Thursday. And you can see the days down there on the table. Now, some other things to think about as we get ready for camp are adult requirements. Okay, so all adults who attend camp as part of your troop must be registered with the BSA, have current youth protection, and have their full health form, um, parts A, B, and C. So even if they're only going to be on property overnight for 48 hours because they're rotating in and out as part of kind of your leadership team, we require a Part C because the official national policy is any activity that lasts more than 72 hours is required to have a Part C, even if an individual participant will not be there for 72 hours. So make sure all of your adult leaders have those three things: their registration, their youth protection, and all three parts of their medical record when they come to camp, whether that's the first day or where they're trading out with someone later in the week. Keep in mind you need at least 2 registered adults attending with the unit. You can trade if you don't have an adult leader who can make it all week, or 2 adult leaders who can make it all week. You all can trade out as needed. And then remember, if you have a larger unit, you need to maintain a 1 registered adult per every 10 youth. So if you have 50 youth, there should be about 5 adults in camp with your troop. And then female units, of course, make sure you bring female leadership with you. Some other important paperwork for check-in. Make sure that, again, those adults bring their proof of registration and their youth protection training with them when they check in. So that can be in your troops binder on that first day when you go to the office, or if they're coming later in the week, they'll need to have it ready to show when they come and check in at the office to get the wristband and things. And again, with the health forms, make sure it's the most current copy of the health form, which would be updated in 2019. Occasionally, we get like a 2014 health form, and our council physician, in coordination with our reservation health officer, can't accept those just because of different national policies and things. So it needs to be the most current BSA medical form. So if your troop has one on a hard drive somewhere from 10 years ago, get rid of it, please. Make sure that the signatures on Part C of it are within a year of your week at camp, and that they are from a registered healthcare provider. Please double check that. A lot of time doctors don't have the best handwriting, and I'll look at a doctor's signature and the date next to it will look like they put 1995 or something, which is ridiculous, but they were unable to write 2024, 2025 effectively on a piece of paper. So make sure your parents or your scouts check that when they go and get their health forms done. So that's fine. And then when you're bringing them to camp, go ahead and organize them in a binder alphabetically. The easiest way to do that is just get some of those clear page protectors and slide your health and medical forms into those, and then you can move them back and forth real easily. Put them in there alphabetically, and that will make it really easy for us to flip through and check when you check in, and then we'll just keep that binder, so don't put anything else in it. And it'll be in the health lodge throughout the week in case your scout needs anything in it, and so we can consult in case they come to the health lodge for something. and then you'll get that binder back at the end of the week. Oh, yes, the second bullet point I missed. Make sure that you have a copy of your Scouts insurance cards attached. That's a pretty common one to miss, but it is required to have a copy of the insurance card. I know Part B has a line that says insurance company and policy number, but National also requires a copy of a insurance card as well. You can find more information on that in the camp guide or on our camp forms page. Okay, so camper ships can be a little expensive sometimes to get a scout to camp. So if you have any families in your unit that are in need of assistance with that, our camper ship applications they're live now, aren't they, Evan, or are they going? Okay, they're live now. They can go on there, go ahead and fill them out, and make sure you get those applications submitted by April. And we'll get back to you within a week or two uh, to go ahead and confirm the campership award and the amount it will be in. There have been plenty of summers where we haven't used all of our camper ships, so please encourage any families that may need assistance to go ahead and apply and see if they're eligible for it. So special accommodations. This covers pretty much anything that maybe, I bet they didn't think about this, or I bet they need to heads up about this, where that's you have a unit leader who needs electricity for their CPAP, or you have a scout with a very, very severe allergy that's going to require us to make some type of large scale accommodations in our dining hall or something. Or if we're going to need to go ahead and talk with the council's advancement committee about possible program adjustments or accommodations. Go ahead and fill out our special accommodations request. This is also if you have any unit leaders or scouts who have mobility issues and will need to have a vehicle on camp to bring them to help facilitate them getting around. Some of these, uh, sorry, let me start over there. As long as you fill this out, we'll be able to look at it ahead of time and kind of plan on things like how many vehicle passes we need when the week starts, how many CPAP batteries do we need to be prepared to check out, do we need to begin taking special precautions for allergies and things. So try and get this submitted at least 2 weeks prior to your arrival at camp. So if you're coming week 3, try and get submitted before the first week of camp would end, so around Father's Day. Okay, so we're going to continue communication-wise, use our link tree and our remind. So all of the major camp documents will go on our link tree. Our master schedule or program schedule, our camp guide, the shower house cleaning schedule, links to report maintenance issues, OA activity schedule, the adult leader training schedule. Those are all going to go on our link tree. Our camp is covered in Wi-Fi at this point, so it's a very easy way to access all of that information. We update it as changes occur, so if there is a need to adjust the program, the copy that is in the link tree will be the most up-to-date copy and should reflect whatever the current additions are because it's linked to our master copies of those documents, as opposed to something that was printed in February and maybe a little bit different. We will have paper copies of a limited amount available if needed, but we do prefer, at least thinking a scout is thrifty, to use the link tree if you're able. And then we also use a remind for emergency communications and updates. So we'll send out over that app, which it is a mass messaging app, things like severe weather warnings or an adult leader activity got canceled or space exploration merit badge is going to have to adjust the time of the rocket launches, things of that nature would go out over the Remind as well. We will have the Remind and Linktree links available for you at the 10-day out meetings. And then again at the first leader meeting on Sunday when you arrive. So you'll be able to join the Remind and go ahead and get into the Linktree on those days. I will say now that when you get the Linktree, it will be updated for the current week of camp. So if you look at it ahead of your week of camp, it will just show you what is going on currently, not what will go on when you arrive, because we update that line.
Zach, we just got a question. Can youth also join the Remind?
Yes, so youth can join the Remind. I mostly encourage that to only be your senior patrol leaders, because they should be the ones taking point on uh, helping it. Well, actually, I would really encourage it for your senior patrol leaders if they're going to have a cell phone on camp, to be in the Remind, because they should ideally be the ones taking point on helping your troop navigate scheduling issues and being accountable in emergencies and things of that nature. So yes, the youth can definitely be in the Remind. The way it is set up is compliant with youth protection guidelines. Ooh, my next section. Exciting. So our meal programs. Um, we continue to improve our meal program every year as much as we can. We got some good feedback last year, and we're going to make sure to implement that. We design our meal program to offer as much variety as possible, while also limiting waste from unwanted food or food that's not going to be consumed. All right, so they keep that in mind with portion sizes, which we make sure that we're meeting all the USDA recommended amounts of portions or as uh, in a single serving tray. And then in addition to what is in our main line, which is the meal for that, each one of our 3 meals has an additional something going on. So breakfast, if your scouts either want more food or don't like what's in the main serving line, there's also oatmeal and yogurt and cereal available out in the main part of the dining hall. At lunch, we have soup and bread, as well as a peanut butter and jelly station. And then at dinner, we have pasta bars, which I think we need to rename because sometimes they're also rice bars. It's like rice and beans and things, but we have more options for you. And then, of course, we also do seconds as well. Okay. Some other things, we have our individual camper program. So if your scouts really like Camp Freelander, or if you say, know some scouts whose troops aren't going to camp this year and would still be interested to go to camp, they can come for additional weeks, or they can come separately from their troop as an individual camper. So when they go on, they'll just go and register as an individual through the My Council system. And we will pair them with a host unit right after that 10-day out meeting. So at the 10-day out meeting, we double check with units about if they're willing to host the scout or not. And then try to put the scout in contact with the host unit. And then that scout, once they come to camp for the week, will go to that host unit and just be a part of that unit for the week at camp. It is the responsibility of the unit, or well, it's the responsibility of the scout and then that scout unit to make sure they're coordinating pickup and drop off times and things, as well as their responsibility to make sure they bring all of their forms and things to camp. And if, say, one of your scouts attends with your troop and then does another week as an individual camper, that makes them eligible for the seconds discount, which is $100 off a second week of camp.
And I know we've got a little bit of feedback on the how individual campers are assigned. And so we are having our office manager start a little bit earlier in the season. So she'll be reporting to work earlier than the rest of the staff, so that she has a little bit of time just to sort out some of that administrative prep work. And one of those things will be assigning individual campers to host units. So at the very latest, you'll be notified, an individual scout will be notified of their host unit 10 days out. It will likely be more than that, but the deadline for registration is the 10 days. And every once in a while, somebody signs up right at the last minute. So we will be contacting units who said they were willing to host individual campers as soon as we can. That way you have time to prep with that scout, and especially if they're able to attend a unit meeting or get to know your scouts before they arrive at camp.
Thank you, Evan. Okay, so our camp staff, we're still hiring. So if you have any of your scouts who are, well, this says 16 or 15, but our CIT program starts at 14. If you have any of your scouts who are over the age of 14 and are interested in spending some time on our camp staff this summer, or are looking for their first job, or just looking to be outside and active during the summer, encourage them to go to danbeard.org and apply to be on camp staff. 14 and 15-year-olds are eligible for our CIT program. So our CITs work staff week and then a set number of additional weeks of the summer, moving around and learning about. Oh, thank you. I didn't realize there was a second slide for that. Otherwise, I would have saved it for next, but that's okay. They'll move around different program areas throughout their week so they can get experiences in aquatics or outdoor skills or handicraft, or the dining hall if they really wish. Um, kind of feel what camp is like, feel what staff is like, and make sure they get a full fun experience. Our CIT ones are 14-year-olds. We pay in $20 worth of trading post credit every week. So you get to come to camp and uh, get all of their food and housing and some store money to use. And then our 15-year-olds will get $50 per week that we just pay them. If they do years of CIT 1 and then come back as a CIT 2, they get a little bit of a bonus on that. So if you have a scout who is thinking about doing camp staff in the future, uh, encourage them to do it this year because that can bonus can stack over time. 16 and up is our general staff. Um, I started as a general staff member at Camp Friedlander back in the summer of 2018, and it is an amazing experience. I could not speak in front of large groups. Before I started on camp staff, I was not one to burst in a song and entertain a group of people when needed. I was, well, camp really just kind of made me into the person I am today. 18-year-old Zach could have never imagined being able to stand up in front of a classroom and lead 20 or 30 students every day, let alone show up at camp and talk to 400 people at a campfire, which I do now. So really encourage you to encourage your youth to apply for camp staff. If you have any older youth, so if they're over the age of 18, we have positions for them too. Our over 18s serve as area directors who manage our program areas and help oversee the quality of our merit badge program. Our coping climbing staff is also all over 18. And then if you have any over 21-year-olds who might be interested in something like coping climbing, we have positions for them as well. That all includes step bonuses that recognize the fact that they're a little bit older and committing some time here that they could be using for something else.
Sweet. Thank you, Zach. Um, Zach, barring any Q&As that you might need to answer, I think you can officially take a break from speaking for a little while. Thank you for taking on a huge chunk of the content there. Up
Thank you.
next, we're going to be talking about some upcoming programs and other non-summer reservations with Mr. Michael Stammet.
Neat. Thanks, Evan. So, and nicely done crunching through all of that, Colonel Hollinsworth. Gad, Zooks. A couple of
you.
things that are going to help to make your lives as leaders and to make the process of arriving at summer camp easier for you that we wanted to tell you about. The first is called Wake Up the Blob, which, as you see on your screen, is going to be Saturday, June 7th. It's going to run from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m., and you can just book a 30-minute time slot. We have a number of people that can attend each slot, so if you have a very large troop, you're welcome to take up chunks in multiple slots, or you can just bring out an individual or a family. There's nothing that says that you have to do this as a unit. You can scan the QR code because this is in fact the future and get more details. But the reason that we're doing this is so that you can do your pre-camp swim assessment. You can take your swim check, do your swim test, and come out. I think we're charging like $2 a head for it this year, which just goes to feed pizza to the lifeguards to make sure that we're taking care of the staff who are there early. We do this the Saturday closest to camp starting, and this is during the time where we're already training our lifeguards. So this is a multi-purpose win for us. You get to come out, go to the lake at Camp Friedlander, take your swim test, and if you go all the way and are assigned the rank of swimmer, then you will be offered the chance to tackle the blob and be blobbed in turn by one of your aquatically swimmery brethren. If you have questions, just post it in the questions box. But yeah, that's a really good one. So make sure and sign up today because that makes your check-in process much, much easier at Friedlander and Cub World during the summer season. Yeah. Okay. Next up, if you're familiar with this process, then this should be just a refresher course. But for those of you who are newer leaders in the Dan Beard Council, or for those of you who are from outside of the Dan Beard Council, we love hosting the neighbors. And with very few exceptions, all of our camps, there are 4 of them on 2 different properties, are available for you as scouts to come out and utilize all year round. Actually, right now at Camp Friedlander, we still have 2 units that are camping with us, enjoying the snow. They've been out skiing for the weekend, and they're having a blast. So if your whole unit, if your troop gets quiet during the winter time, you don't have to. We've got heated cabins. The castle and fort at Cub World get a lot of use. During the warmer months, you can book program to come out and engage in rifle, shotgun, use of the boating. You can ask us for details on program like use of the climbing tower or cope. And again, that's all 4 of our camps, 3 of which are at the Dan Beard Scout Reservation, that being Camp Friedlander, Cub World, and Camp Craig, between Loveland and Milford here in Cincinnati, or the gorgeous chunk of property down in Union, Kentucky called Camp Michaels that features 2 yurts, a massive creek, tons and tons of camping options, and a very large, robust, and very new and posh leadership lodge, which is where we host programs like NYLT and Wood Badge, which you heard about earlier this evening. There's your tie-in. Remember? Did you think were you taking notes? Good. We do all that. If you have questions about it, scan the QR code or send us a message. Happy to get you out to the camp. I mean, you're already paying for it. Camp's happiest when you're here enjoying it.
Thank you, Stammet. It looks like I forgot to add a slide here, but would you mind giving a brief blurb about Camp You Know You Wanna?
Oh, certainly. All right. So here's one for you to tune into, and this is especially for you grown-ups. Some of you are kind of hanging out and taking notes. Some of you might be folding laundry or trying to cook dinner or whatever. But this one we did at the end of the summer last year, and it was so well received that almost everyone who attended has already signed back up again. This is called Camp You Know You Wanna, and it is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know you want to leave your kids at home because you have to be 21 years old to attend this exclusive, diligently sought after, and highly esteemed event by those lucky enough to attend. That means you. Our sponsors last year, for example, were the Cincinnati Distillery and March 1st Brewing Company. So you get to come out and do all of the program at camp that you usually say, no, please, let the scouts do that program. Oh, no, you do the climbing, the boating, tomahawks, go down to the shooting range, or just bring a hammock, float about, read a book, relax, and enjoy the camp with no kids here. And then after 5 o'clock, when the program stops, then we start serving libations of certain flavors of the adult persuasion. Last year, we had a paired slushy sampling experience with such lovely flavors as the Lake Margarita or the Fellowship, just all kinds of stuff. So we did different adult slushies hosted by Sarah Dorger at the Trading Post. Then on Saturday, Cincinnati Distillery did a bourbon tasting, and we had a spectacular live band. Hang on, band dogs. Help me out, Evan. What's it? Dang it, what's her name? The band was excellent.
Penthouse Dogs.
Penthouse, thank you. I couldn't think of my first one. Yeah. Some of the volunteers who put the entire program on are also accomplished musicians. So you get your foot tapping and you get some live music with the entire experience. Folks, it's a stellar time. You can bring your own tent and enjoy a campsite, or you can book out our cabins and everything in between. So if you want more questions, qualms, complaints, or concerns on any of that kind, well, not complaints or concerns, but if you have questions or are curious how that works, there are still some slots open for this, and it's the last weekend of July that's happening right before August starts. So yeah, you do not have to be a scouter to attend. In fact, a lot of the folks who enjoyed this the most last year were folks who were not affiliated with Scouts. So you can reward your company sales team for a great season. You can have a family reunion. You can invite your siblings from out of town, or you can leave your siblings at home, whatever. Bring your parents as long as they're 21. This is an excellent way to enjoy camp in a way that you should not have been doing before. So yeah, you know you want to attend for 2025.
Sweet. Thank you, Stammet.
Certainly.
So that just about wraps us up. I will be sending these slides out afterwards. Pretty much any form you could ever hope for is on that link right there, danbeard.org/camp forms. That works with or without the hyphen. Zach and I hinted at it a little bit tonight, but our camp guide for 2025 is live. We published it this afternoon. And I will also be sending that out in the follow-up email to this meeting. We're also going to publish the recording of this meeting online. I know a couple of you trickled in late, so you'll be able to rewatch the beginning there. And then we will stick around for a few minutes just to take any questions that you might have at the moment. If you think of anything later, my contact information is there, as well as Michael Stammet. So if you think of anything for summer camp, feel free to send it my way. Michael will take things for Wake Up the Blob and other non-summer events or rentals. So if you got any questions, feel free to send them in the Q&A. And then we will head on out for the evening. I know sometimes questions are really long, and so they take a while to type. Jeff, we did talk a little bit about NYLT and Wood Badge before we talked about scuba. If you missed the beginning of the scuba presentation, I'd also recommend you watch that when we send out the link here later as well. Ellen, prerequisites. We are meeting with our area directors in the middle of this month to help them develop a timeline for that. Zach, did we have a due date in mind for getting those live?
Tentatively, I want to have prerequisites out by middle to late March. They shouldn't be drastically different for the merit badges that are returning from last year than they were last year, unless that merit badge had major changes to it.
Yeah. We just had a couple more merit badges have changes than normal, which is what's pushing us back a little bit. And then Doug asked, is there a virtual option for the 10-day out meeting? We're looking into it. We had talked about it last year and weren't able to get it off the ground. For this summer, we're thinking about potentially doing a tandem post one meeting in person while another one is going on online. We're just trying to figure out our best use of our staff's time for that. Mostly to get those one-on-one questions done. So we're either going to do both, or we will be sending out an email with all of the details that we talked about in the 10-day out meeting. So we will get more details on that as we get closer to camp. But if you're not able to attend in person, we'll make sure you get all the information you need one way or the other. Give it a couple seconds in case anything else comes in. Sweet. All right, I think that is all we're going to get. If you think of anything else, feel free to reach out to myself or Stammet. If we don't know the answer, we will get someone that does, and we will make sure that that answer gets back to you. But thank you to all of our presenters for taking time out of their holiday weekend to present to us. And thank you to all of you who took time out of your holiday weekend to sit here and listen about summer camp on a cold winter evening. So I hope that y'all stay warm and that the winter weather breaks here soon. But that is all from us. So thank you and have a good evening.